Hey guys, welcome to another video by 520fishing.net. My name's Moose and I am so excited to bring you guys this video today. I met probably one of the nicest guys a couple of months ago, and not even face to face, but just through the internet, and able to talk to this person on the phone, and I was so excited about his baits. There's just something about his baits that I was like, man, this is going to be the next big thing for me this coming season for bass fishing. And so I wanted to kind of give you guys an introduction to his baits. Now, it's 11 degrees outside here in Michigan right now today, and there's ice on the lake, and chances are I'm probably not going to be on a boat chucking these things right now. But what I do want to do is I want to kind of give you guys a little introduction. I want to kind of introduce you to this company so that maybe you could start doing some research, and maybe you might be interested in checking out some of these baits. I think that once you see the video that I'm going to produce here today and that he's already shot, and you start to look and you start to pay attention to these baits, you're going to be driven to go out and pick some of these up yourself. I am a firm believer of that. I can tell you that I am 150% sold that this is the next biggest thing in bass fishing. Now, there's been other companies that have done similar. However, there's nobody that's done the exact particulars that this gentleman has done. And so without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to Larry the Lizard. Now, some of you may have already heard of Larry the Lizard. Some of you might be saying, oh, yeah, I've seen that guy, or I've fished with that guy, or blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to tell you what. You look through his bait selection, and you watch the way that these baits work in the water, and you're going to be sold. I guarantee it. And so I want to start by talking about a couple of different baits that he offers. Number one, I want to explain that there's rattles in all these baits. They're glass beaded rattles, and I want to talk about a couple of the different ones that he offers. My favorite one that I can't wait to throw is the 4-inch Rattlin' Frog and Craw. This is in blue and black, and I'm going to open it. This is actually the first ones that I've actually ever opened and felt in my hand. But there it is. That's the... And these baits float. So, listening really closely to this, I'm going to have to come right up here. Let's see if you can hear that. I don't know if you guys can hear those rattles, but they're really subtle. They're just enough that if you drag that and it's floating and it's ripping across the top of the water, that's just enough. Remember, sound in water travels a lot differently and is a lot more amplified than what we hear here in the air. I can assure you, when you stick this thing close to your ear, you can hear these rattles move. I'm going to be doing individual reviews on all these baits, and I'm going to have a lot more information. I do have a lot of information now, but this video would take me probably an hour to go through all the baits. So I just want to give you guys an introduction to these different baits. So we have the 4-inch, and that's the Rattle Frog and Craw. Let's see here. That comes in the black and blue, comes in watermelon red, it comes in green pumpkin, it comes in white, and that's it. So there's a good color selection out there for these baits as well. Then he offers a 6-inch Lizard. Once again, these have the glass rattles in them. Little Lizard. Nice little rattles. The rattles are actually right here in the tail section. So in the back end of the Lizard itself. Great construction, floating again. So obviously with any floating bait, you can put a weight on it, it's going to drop it down. You want it to float, throw a nice light hook in there, right on top of the weeds, right across the top of the water. Nice little tail action there. I'm going to be shooting videos in the spring, showing you guys fish exploding all over these things. So stick with us. Once again, these come in all your favorite colors. now we have the 10-inch black. This is the Rattling Larry the Lizard in black and blue. So you can see the size of that lizard. What a great bait. Listen, this year I threw so many 10-inch worms it wasn't even funny. And I can tell you that the action on that is way better than what I was throwing on my worm. There's not a fish in the world, I don't care where you're fishing, that isn't going to find that thing pretty attractive. Once again, rattle in the tail. Something about rattles. I know some people, you know, listen, I listen to some of the Bassmaster Elites, and it is funny, and I don't need to name anybody because you already know who these people are. But they'll say, well, I ain't never heard no gizzard rattle. Well, listen, I never heard a Big Mac rattle, but if it did and it was telling me to come eat it, I'm going to eat that dang Big Mac. Right? Tell me I'm wrong. You telling me that if a big old porterhouse steak started rattling and you could hear it and you looked over and it was sitting there on a plate, you wouldn't go, I'm going to eat it. But that's just me. Whatever. Once again, those come in all your favorite colors. So, let's move on to the worms. So, we have 7-inch worms and we have 10-inch worms. So, let's talk about some of these. The one thing that he says, and I think is great, is, you know, get your arm broke, Larry the Lizard. You should. Get your arm broke. Listen, this guy is one of the nicest guys that I've probably ever talked to in the fishing industry. And I can tell you, without a doubt, there has been a whole lot of work that has gone into these baits. And I can tell you, without a doubt, these are proven baits that are catching lots of humongous fish all over this country. And like I said, you go to his website, LarryTheLizardCustomBaits.com, and you're going to see these videos. You're going to see these pros, and you're going to see these videos of these huge fish coming out of the water attached to a Larry the Lizard bait. And I'm not just talking about, you know, average fish. I'm talking about big fish. So here we have the 7-inch Pro Tour green pumpkin and chartreuse. If you notice, you don't see a whole lot of chartreuse in there, but when these things hit the water, it kind of lights up. It's a little more in the tail. It's kind of that green light chartreuse. And once again, there's a rattle. So, great bait. All kinds of different uses for that. I can think of 100 off the top of my head where that would be great to fish with. And then we've got the 10-inch bait. Nice big old 10-inch worm. This is the black and blue. If you notice, the tail's got more of a like a real dark, like smoke gray black with blue fleck in it. In the water, that's going to look amazing. And once again, there's that rattle. And you know, dude, listen, I can't say it enough. Advertising. Let's just talk about advertising for a second, because that's the best way to describe a rattle, right? You're sitting on your couch, you're watching TV, and all of a sudden a Domino's pizza commercial comes on, or Little Caesars, or Hungry Howie's, or your local pizza shop, or McDonald's, or Burger King. And the next thing you know, you're in your car driving to Taco Bell because, you know, Run for the Border just crossed your screen, and you're like, hey, that sounds really good. It's advertising. That's all those rattles do. They just advertise, hey, I'm over here, come bite me. It brings fish from outside of where you might be throwing to your bait. That's just it. You know, some people, like I said, some people are stuck on, well, I ain't never heard this rattle. Well, I agree. I've never heard a shad swim through the water and rattle. I mean, unless he just ate a bunch of shellfish and he's got a bunch of crushed shell in his belly. But even then, I'd probably never hear it. But the point is that it's not unnatural. I mean, lots of people throw rattle baits in the water and fish swim to them. So all we're doing is advertising. It's our way of sending a commercial downstairs so that the fish look up and or look down, or look over, or look left, or look right, or swim from 20 or 30 feet away to come over and see what the hell's making all that noise. And then all they see is a Larry the Lizard bait that looks about as natural and awesome as it can, and game on. So like I said, listen, check this guy out. Go onto his website, LarryTheLizardCustomBaits.com. Check out his videos, and you know, see what this guy's all about. Listen, I'm telling you, one of the nicest guys I've ever met, well, talked to on the phone. Got a great, amazing story about how he decided to get into this, and I got a lot of respect for the guy for the stuff that he's gone through to get to where he's at. And you know, he's not a big corporation. He's not sponsored by $100,000, you know, dollars in the bank and things like that. There's nobody backing him up. This guy does it on his own, and I can tell you that he doesn't. I mean, he doesn't. You know, he's not that corporation. Matter of fact, right on the back of that, you can see it. There's a picture of him with one of the fish that he caught. That's kind of hard. It's not really focusing right there. You can kind of see it, but that's him with one of the fish that he caught off this bait, and he did a lot down Lake Fork and things like that. And listen, pay attention, because I'm telling you, in the spring I'm going to be shooting a lot of videos on these guys, or on this bait in particular for Larry, and I'm going to show you guys some seriously big fish coming out of here on these baits. I promise you that. I am so sold on this bait, and I've never even thrown one, that I'm making a guarantee that I'm going to shoot videos of me and 4 and 5 pound bass easily on my lake off these baits. Without a doubt. No doubt in my mind. It's like guaranteed done. So don't forget, subscribe to this YouTube channel. That way you'll be able to see these videos that I'm going to shoot in the spring. Spring is going to be just an absolute fish busting, bass jumping out of the water, crushing them. Me and Freeman are just going to be hammered fish. Extravaganza. You guys are just going to be like, wow, man, you guys are legit dudes. And I'm going to be like, I told you. I'm just blowing smoke. But anyway, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook. Facebook.com/520fishing. And I'll tell you what. As a matter of fact, if I can get 100 people to subscribe to this channel, this will be one of the first giveaways I do. I'm going to actually buy some of these baits, some more of these baits from Larry the Lizard. And I'm going to send you guys, one lucky winner, an assortment of these baits. So, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like us on Facebook. You have to do both in order to win. And then check out our website, www.520fishing.net. There's going to be a link on there to Larry's website, but you can also check him out, like I said, LarryTheLizardCustomBaits.com. If you just go to Google and you do Larry the Lizard Baits, it shows up. And check out his site, see what he's all about. Continue to watch these videos. And until next time, I'm Moose. And don't forget, in the spring, we got lots of fishing to do. So stay tuned. I'm looking forward to it. So should you. Take care.